It's actually, your point has gone backwards since
Absolutely.
the 70s. Per capita income's down like 70%.
That's exactly right.
Just explain that to me, because
Sure.
I mean, that seems $1 trillion gone,
Yeah,
essentially.
basically,
and,
yes.
and poverty more entrenched now than before.
Absolutely. And just to illustrate, in the 1970s, 10% of Africans lived on $1 a day. Now over 70% of Africans are living on $1 a day. So things have got fundamentally worse. And if you look at growth, again, Africa, to quote Paul Collier, who's my PhD supervisor, Africa is actually shearing off. So things are getting worse. When the rest of the world is moving in one direction, Africa is going in a completely different direction.
Basically, you're saying, look, what we should be doing in the Western world is giving African countries notice. 5 years and the aid tap is turned off.
Yeah.
How would that work?
Well, first of all, with respect to the 5 years, it was an example in the book, and I think it's really important not to focus on that number of 5 years. I mean, obviously, we can't have a blanket prescription for all countries. They're very different levels of economic development. Zambia, my own country, is very different from Ghana, very different from Somalia, which is a failed state. So I think to focus on the 5 years, per se, is to miss the broader point that we do need a finite, transparent exit strategy. The programs, aid programs that have worked, the Green Revolution in India, or the interventions in South Korea, or the aid interventions through the Marshall Plan, have worked, I believe, because they were finite. They were short, sharp, and finite, as opposed to the open-ended commitments that we see in Africa, where governments start to view aid income as permanent income, and therefore do not need to seek alternative ways of financing economic development.